how's it going? My name is Fuzz, and in this video we're going to talk about basic principles of product management and how it can be applied to creatives. We'll be going over topics such as understanding your audience, prioritizing and setting goals, and much more. So let's get into it. The first thing I want to talk about is what is product management. If you're watching this, you're probably an artist working on your next masterpiece. So the product management skills we're going to be talking about is going to help you understand your audience, see what their preferences are, and create a work that resonates with them. An example of an artist that embraces product management skills into their brand is actually Taylor Swift. So she understood her audience and their needs, and through strategic campaigns, marketing, and collaborations, she tapped into that passion and really engaged with her fans through the music she made. If you look at the day one Taylor Swift versus like who she's right now, the journey. So you might ask yourself, why do you need to blend the world of product management with kind of like the artistic world? Well, from personal experience, I can tell you that by bringing the two worlds together, it's going to help you create and deliver your art more effectively. That's a pretty good deal. By understanding your audience's preferences, you can create an art that resonates with them more, or advertise it in a certain way that is going to grab their attention. Now, that's going to increase the chances of them discovering you and your art resonating with them, and becoming a loyal fan. Next thing I want to talk about with you is setting goals. Personally, at the beginning of the year, I plan out how many songs I want to release. Let's say if I say 12, then it's once a month. If I say 24, then that means every month I have to release 2 songs. Now, whether if it's a remix or an original song, we can decide that later. But setting your goals on saying, okay, by the end of the year, how many songs do I want to have released? Or for a painter, how many paintings have I painted, or do I want to paint? And essentially working backwards from that. So by doing that, then it's going to help you stay motivated and focused through the whole journey of the creation process. And for me, actually helps me stay motivated. So that's great. Highly recommend look into it. Now, before we get into the next topic, I want to introduce to you 3 different goals that as an artist I have for myself, and you should too. First is your artistic goals. So if it's exploring different genres, collaborating with different people, learning a new skill that's going to help you paint, a production technique that you're anxious or you think that's going to help you create better songs. So all of those are artistic goals. Second is going to be career goals. These can be if you want to have a number of performances, or if you want to have a certain gallery booked for your paintings. These are not so much creative, but these are your career goals that are kind of like focused on the business side, or kind of like they're more performance focused. And third is business. So is how many more fans you're gaining, is how much more money you're generating through your art. Are you selling more painting? Are people streaming your music more? Are your shows more profitable because people are buying your shirts and merch? Now, all of those I would put it under business goals. Next is defining success. What does that mean? You have to kind of do some reflection on your side. That's not something I can tell you. That's not something your mom and dad can tell you. It's something that you have to find for yourself. So what do you want at the end of the day to be your legacy? What do you want to be remembered as? What do you want your work to stand for? That's something that you kind of have to close your eyes and imagine, like, what is the end goal? What if like it's a peak of like if there's a story, it's like an arc at the climax of that story, what is it that's happening? So the peak, at the highest point, where do you see yourself? And by defining that moment, you've defined success. So someone else's success is not influencing your success, and you're not competing for the same thing just because whatever they want is not necessarily what you want. Definitely look into that and figuring that for yourself. Now, when you're defining your success, don't be afraid of mixing your personal values as well. And that's going to help you actually narrow it down. Do you want to be making a lot of money? Do you just want to, cover your expenses and just live that way? Are you going to be donating to charity a lot when you have a lot of money? Or are you going to be spending it, on a lavish lifestyle, which is totally fair. You worked for it, you earned it, so kudos to you. But just planning things out. So when you have those things, you're not really questioning what you should be doing, just because you've already planned and thought about it. And when you have all of those things set up and you're working towards them, it's going to give you a sense of fulfillment and actually help you stay motivated throughout the journey and, keep kicking ass. Next topic on the bucket list is prioritization. Now, prioritization, why? Because there's only 7 days in a week and 24 hours in a day, and a million things that we can do and we should be doing. Understanding why certain things need to happen first, or are they worth your time right now, whether you should be doing it later, all those things, that's prioritization. And we're going to talk about it a little bit more. Now, at every stage of your career, you're going to have different priorities, and that's okay. But just being mindful of, at this stage in my life, I should be applying for a lot of grants, or I should be doing more marketing, or I should be making more songs, painting more pictures, networking. All of those things can have their ranking, which one's most important, which one's second, and really being intentional about why certain things are ranked first versus, if something's ranked third, making sure, you're convinced that what you're doing and how you've prioritized your tasks, and it's actually aligned with the stage of your career that you're currently in right now. One thing that helps me prioritize my tasks is called the Eisenhower matrix. Now, the Eisenhower matrix is going to help you prioritize and categorize tasks in terms of, should I be doing it, or should someone else be doing it, or maybe don't do it at all right now. It's going to help you a lot. Next thing I want to talk about is creating a project plan. Project plan, what is that? Okay, we're gonna get into it. A project plan is essentially milestones and timelines that you have for yourself for doing certain tasks. For example, for me to create a song, to produce a song, it takes about a week or two. So I can kind of reverse engineer how long each task is going to take. If I want to release a song, September 1st, how many weeks in August do I need to work on it? How long the distribution is going to take? All these timelines and milestones that you kind of have to set for yourself to meet for everything to go according to plan and as scheduled. And then so once you have that for 1 month, if you're releasing, 2 songs, then just do the same thing for the next month and the month after. So we were just talking about timelines, but also resources as well. So if you're going to be hiring people, if you have to spend some money on, advertising, or you have to pay someone or hire someone to shoot your music video, that's actually part of the project plan as well. So allocating how much money you actually have to have available in your account to be able to pay for, those services that you're going to be paying for. And then once you know those costs, then you can kind of look at how much money you're making. Maybe you should push the release a week later, or actually you can have, multiple songs being produced at the same time, because you can kind of hire more people and have a bigger team to help you out. So not just time, but also money is something that project plan looks at too. Now, let's talk about collaboration and teamwork. Now, me personally, I love collaboration and teamwork. Working with people that are better than me, people, it's just like a change of scenery. It's like a group project. People with different perspectives come in and share their experiences. I love working with different songwriters and singers, different voices, different stories to tell. And even when I'm co-producing a song, you learn so much about how different people produce or do the same things that you do, but just in a different way, or better or worse. You can learn from each other and kind of explore and bounce ideas really fast and just grow holistically as a group. Now, you being your own product manager, trust me, you are, by collaborating, it's going to help you create a more well-rounded product. Now, there's some basics when it comes to collaboration that I think you should know. Clear communication. If it's not good, why is it not good? Making sure that your criticism is constructive. Next is active listening. So whenever you're working with someone, truly listen to what they're saying and their perspective. It might actually be really good. Take a deep breath, drink some tea, drink some coffee, go for a walk, truly listen to what their intentions are and what is it that they're trying to tell you. And always, always, always make sure to have mutual respect. You don't want to start a fight with anyone. Assume that people are good and people will be good. And that's kind of like the confirmation bias, but it has worked for me. And if you respect people, people will respect you back. Damn, I'm starting to sound like someone's parents. Yeah, just be a good person. Adaptability and flexibility. What is that? That's essentially being ready for when things don't work out. Odds are you can plan all you want, but somewhere in that plan, something unexpected is going to happen, like COVID, like a pandemic. And so no more tours, no more concerts. What are you gonna do? Some people switched to streaming. Some people took the time and actually made music. So when things open back up, they have tons of new music. So being ready and being just flexible in terms of things are not written in stone, and just being really agile when it comes to creating things and your workflow. Not only flexibility and adaptability is all about bad things happening, but it's also about good things. So new technologies, let's say AI, like you can generate new pictures, different ways you can generate album covers. So being adaptable and being flexible with, you know what, like let me just give that a try and let's play around with it a little bit. And last point I want to make before we move on to the next topic is taking criticism and learning from your failures, because that also ties into being flexible and adaptable. So if a song doesn't go as planned, or if your painting doesn't turn out as you expected, really explore why it happened. You know, if you do something wrong and it doesn't work out for the first time, okay, that's fine, you learn from it. And actually I wouldn't call that a failure, but I would call it a lesson learned. But for the second time, that should not happen. That's one thing you and I have to make sure, that once something doesn't work out for the second time, then you really have to look into, it's like, okay, first time it didn't work out and I looked into it, why did it happen the second time? The next topic we're moving on to is balancing creativity and your strategy. So you kind of have to look into, as in, is the art you're making, is there a market for it? Is there a need for it? Do people need it? Is it something new? Have other people tried creating something that you want to create? If it worked out, good, you can learn from those people. And also, if it didn't work out, why didn't it work out? Now, as an artist, yes, there's going to be commercial demands versus kind of like pushing back against your creative mind. Things you can, you know, being a sellout and following the trends and doing things that are, let's say, profitable and going that route versus commercial versus the actual art you want to be making. So there is a fine balance between all of that. Now, my advice for you in that regard is stay authentic. No one can be you and you cannot be other people. And it's also a lot cheaper if you're just authentic and you're being yourself. So be you, but at the same time, you can do some like read into market trends. You can see what is it that's happening that you are also passionate about. And you can use that as a leverage, as something that you're passionate about. So for me, for example, here, product management. I'm an artist, I'm a DJ, I make music, but I'm also passionate about product management. So I use the angle, the lens of product management for, you know, creatives. Being me, I kind of looked into what is it that I wanted to know a few years ago, and I can kind of like share that knowledge. Now that I know it, I can share that knowledge back to my kind of like 22-year-old self. Look at it that way. Okay, last thing I want to talk about is continuous learning and improvement. You as an artist are responsible for getting inspired and always getting better and better and better. How can you do that? Well, there are workshops, there are courses, there are mentorship programs that you can attend to learn new skills, expand your kind of creative abilities, get inspiration, and just explore the horizons. For example, for me, when I go on hikes, that's actually when I get inspired the most about creating music. And it's not about the nature per se, it's more about me being away from like the city, the phone, the data, the laptop, all the technology, and really without all those distractions, I can kind of like walk through the woods and have my brain kind of like thinking in the background, like, okay, what is it that I should be doing, and kind of like planning the next steps. There are some platforms that you can take some courses on that I've personally tried and I absolutely loved it. An example of those platforms is Skillshare. This is not an ad for them or anything, but to learn how to edit videos like the one you're watching, I actually took a few courses on Skillshare on how to, you know, plan out a YouTube video and how to like create one and how to organize a story and how to edit like short videos for my YouTube and all the like my Instagram videos. As an artist, as a creative, that was something that I needed to kind of like step up. I'm sure you're gonna find some relevant skills that are on Skillshare taught by their respected expert that you can give it a try and see if you like it or not. So we've come to an end of this video. If you liked this video, I would love to hear your thoughts in the comment section. If you liked this video, if you want to see other videos, different topics, if I should cover something else, please do let me know in the comment section below. And if you like this video, click on the like button. And if you want to see more of these videos, click on the subscribe button and you will be notified of my next videos and they'll be ready for you to watch. Thank you for watching this video and I'll see you in the next one.